Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Humanitarians of Africa series. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. My name is Ella. I am the founder and CEO of Hexa Media Africa. And today I have with me our first guest from Sierra Leone. His name is Hilton James. And he's here to share with us the amazing story of his non-profit organization, all the way from Sierra Leone. James, thank you so much for joining me today. It's amazing to have you as our first guest from Sierra Leone. How do you feel?
To me, I feel so honored and I'm so grateful to God. And I want to thank you for me, it's an opportunity which I will not take for granted. Thank you so much. And
Thank,
thank you to the whole team.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, James, who are you? Who is Hilton James? What does he do? And everything that you think our audience today should know about you. Please feel free to share with us.
All right, thank you so much. Quite a huge one, but I'll try so much so that I can at least do my best.
Sure.
Well, like you have just said, I am Hilton James Bokari Yambasu from Sierra Leone, West Africa. And of course, I'm still in my, 20s. I'm still a youth for now, yes. And well, I studied communication. I practiced journalism, development communication and journalism. And I have always been in the community. I've worked in radio stations in the community, you know. So basically, that's it. And I have done a lot of advocacies. I'm part of advocacy team in Sierra Leone for both the youth, children, and all of that. So basically, of course, I've been to the university and I'm out. I'm presently a civil servant and the founder of Happy Child Foundation. I think that's just few for now.
Wonderful. Okay, great. Thank you so much for that simple and short introduction about you. So tell us about Happy Child Foundation. What is the foundation about? What do you do? And what is the story behind starting up such a wonderful organization in Sierra Leone?
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much again. Happy Child Foundation is a non-profit making organization registered in Sierra Leone. And its main goal is to see how we can give back life to those who feel that life is no more on their side, those who the community has given up on, those who even their families has rejected them. So this foundation is there to give them life. That's the reason why we operate in three thematic areas. That is, we operate in health, education, and livelihood. Basically, we deal with women, children. That is girls and children, though we have a broader perspective of dealing with all children, in every community. Now, what has been happening in Sierra Leone is that we have these international organizations, humanitarian organizations that come, but the survey has proven that they don't actually reach out to the real vulnerable people because this is Africa. Somebody imagine like the SOS. I know you know about SOS.
Yes.
It's a humanitarian
Yes.
that deal with orphans. But in Sierra Leone, you can see children in these opportunity that have both parents. That is the ridicule. So we have seen that is why most of these international humanitarian organizations are actually not succeeding to reach out. Or we ask ourselves, why is it that we have all these international organizations, but there is still need? There are still children on the street. There are still, our girls that are, dropping out of school and all. And we answered it is because the help is actually not reaching to the right people. That's the reason why we decided that, okay, Happy Child Foundation will go to rural communities where other organizations are deserting to reach. We will go there. And Ella, to be honest enough, when we did that move, we were able to actually know that vulnerable children are not found in the cities.
True.
They are in the rural setting, rural communities, hard to reach areas. So we operate to give help to children, to give them education, where we provide everything that a child would need to go to school. And as well, because if you give a child health, you give him or her education, but if you do not support his livelihood, the education is going to be affected, the health is going to be affected. So that is why we just do not concentrate on health and education. We as well concentrate on their livelihoods. So we are operating in these three thematic areas. Now, why or how Happy Child Foundation came into existence? In 2019, or before that, growing up as a child, I saw a lot of things. I could see my dad, taking food from the house to give, because my dad was a medical person, a CHO, community health officer. Now, before he treats you, he will ask you, have you eaten today? Do you have food home? And he will be like, okay, he will tell my mom, please, can you get 5 cups of rice for this person? So my mom would say, why do you have to do this? So it got to a point that my mom got used to it. So I saw that practically. My dad was always saying, I am not doing this for me now. I am doing it for my own children. Because there will come a time they will go to a location, they will go to a place that I will not be around to help them out. And interestingly, today, my dad is no more. And I keep moving from one city to another, you see. And anytime I'm moving, I see help. So I recall, I said, no wonder my dad was giving free treatment to patients. My dad was giving food to patients before he could treat them. Okay, so basically that foundation was laid. Now, in 2019, I got a community job where I was working in one of the community radios in my community, in a very rural and remote community. Like I said, I studied communication and journalism.
Yeah.
So once I was there, one day, like just like today, I was seated in the office and I said, let me take a stroll. So I took a stroll in a nearby village. Honestly, Ella, the first picture I could see was a heavily malnourished girl child. I have a picture. Like I said, journalism, we keep records.
Yeah.
So when I asked the mother, and the mother too was a teenage mother. Now, this community has high risk of teenage pregnancies, where we have men that leave the cities, go there, impregnate young girls, and they run away. Now, I asked the mother, why have you left this girl to suffer with this kind of ailment? And she said, her mother has left us, her father, has left us and has got to another wife. So me too, I have left her to her fate. That was her exact words. Meaning, if the girl should die, no problem. So she cannot even take the girl child to the hospital because of what the father has done. And because I'm a journalist, so they fear journalists, I instructed her, take this girl child to my office tomorrow morning. We're going to take her to the hospital. And as God could help it, I took the picture of her. That present moment I saw her. I still have that picture. The next morning, she went to the office, and I took the girl child to the PHU that was in that community. As God could help it, the very day we reached there, that same day, there's a project. There was a project in my community called Project Peanut Butter. So they too came in. They were looking for minority children, and I said, God, thank you. So she was enrolled. I have a picture of her from week 1 when she started taking her treatment. So the final week, 3rd week, if you see, Ella, I'm going to share all those pictures with you. If you see it, you actually know the development.
Wow.
And honestly, I am proud that God used me to be the first person to buy shoes for the little girl Geneva to wear. Today, Ella, Geneva is going to school, and she's not only going to school, she's being taken care of by the foundation. In fact, she is the 001 of the foundation.
Wonderful.
Okay, so basically, the mother, who is as well a teenage, who dropped out of school, she was so happy. That was then the father came in. They came to say thanks. I said, no, you don't need to thank me. I do not do this for you. I did it because of God and the little girl. So basically, since then, I never nurtured the zest of going into a foundation, honestly. So in that community, I had some small children that I started to give some small help out of my meager salary. Because I had this notion, you don't need to be rich before you can make impact. That one, I even I tell my team every time, I said, hey, you don't need to be okay before you can make impact. And that's just the truth. So basically from 2019, I had them. I also had another girl who is now in JSS 1. That is upper level.
Wonderful.
She was suffering from sinus. She could go to school and the thing would just affect her. So one time I got to meet her. Her name is Emilia. And I said, no, this girl should not suffer from this. I had to travel with her to a bigger community and she was treated. Today, Emilia is in JSS 1. Emilia has both parents, but they don't have enough to even take care of Emilia. So as I speak, Emilia is under the foundation. Basically, now, since 2019, it was just like that, quietly, nobody knows about it and all, until 2022 last year. Now, I had this urge because what normally happens, I have left the village long since. I left the work, yes. So I came back to the city and I could stay in my house sometime. And they called me, hey, James, this is what is going on. Oh, there is this child here that, want to go to school. And I'm like, really? So I would say, okay, as at last year, September, we had 5 of them that urgently needed to go to school. Amongst them was a very small girl who was impregnated at age 15. Yes. And I asked her, I said, why do you really want to go to school? And she was like, I was going to school when I dropped out, and now I really want to go to school. I said, are you sure? And she was, yes. I said, okay, if you are sure you want to go to school, then we will do all in our power to ensure you go to school. Now, we have both 5 of them. There are some boys there who lost their parents. There's another boy whose single mother, is disabled. So we did all we could to ensure that those 5 go back to school. Today, they are going back to school. We thank God for that. So basically, I now said, okay, it's like there is need for us to help more children in rural communities. But I cannot continue to do it in this low scale that I'm doing. So I need to discuss this with some people, some like-minded youths and other people that can buy from the vision and we take the challenge. So I did that and I had my first meeting. And as if God was really ready for us to go into it, everybody was ready, and they were like, yes. That's the time I knew that there are people who really want to help, but they want a channel. They cannot do it by themselves. They cannot go, but they want somebody that can go on their behalf. So we came together, and as of today, we have board members that are people that we can reckon with in the community. We have special advisors. We have a full team that, we are all volunteers. We are not having a dime, but we are just at it. So basically, we went ahead and said, okay, you cannot operate in Sierra Leone as a humanitarian organization without going through the legal means. So we hastily registered the foundation with Pujon District Council. That's one of the communities, the rural communities we operate. And they gave us a certificate. And as well, we hired a legal person that did a constitution for us, that is to guide us. And we have other documents that we went for, Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs, because we are operating with children. So we need a license from them and all of that. So we did that, and the foundation was officially launched on the 11th of November last year. So basically, since that time, there has been this increasing demand. As I speak to you, imagine I was doing it alone on a low key with just 15 children. As I talk to you now, we have up to 200 children. I'm telling you, I'm like, how did this happen? How did this happen?
Wonderful.
I even can't answer. We have a page, we have a Facebook page that when you open it, you see some of the children and all of that. We have not started to really update it fully because we have to do some other, we want to really have a functional page. That is why we are yet taking it gradually. So basically, that is it. And as I speak to you, we as well said, okay, since we are all youth, we have just few people that are elderly amongst us. We need to involve in some other things that can help us raise fund for these children. Say, okay, let's go into agriculture because that's one of my passion though. And we went into agriculture. We did a cassava farm of 1 acre, which we are getting ready to harvest. And all the proceeds from that, we will direct it to the foundation, because by September, when school shall have been open, we're expecting to have more children, and we are expecting to, as well, the ones we have already, to support them again. And all of these children, if you are under our education scheme, we do not only seek for your education, we seek for your health. We have even a medical practitioner in our team who is a nurse, a pediatric, that she deals properly with children. And as well, we also look at your livelihood. In some of these communities that these children live is very horrible, Ella. It's very, very, very horrible. So basically, that's how the foundation came into being.
Wonderful.
And that's where it started.
Wonderful. I love this story because this is what we're here for. We're here to hear the stories that inspired the work that we do, the stories of people doing great things on the field. And this is really, really amazing. A tiny seed that was planted by your father has become a huge tree right now that is impacting the lives of other children. And this is what we're here for. I'm so excited. Well done on the work that you're doing.
And Ella, sorry, Ella, can I tell you something?
Sure.
My mom that was really, heavy with my dad because of that. Can I tell you that she practically took 5 of the children to her house? She was like, okay, you come and stay to my house now, since your home is not that, So as I speak to you, they are staying with her. So most times, if we do not even serve food for them, she feeds them. I said, they are your children now. So she has no choice.
Wonderful, wonderful. This is a wonderful initiative, and I love that you're here to share your story with us today. You've talked about your wins, how you started the organization, the impact you've been able to make so far, from 5 children to 200 children, and the number is growing, and that's amazing. So let's go down to the challenges. what has been your challenge, or what are the challenges you face running an organization in Sierra Leone?
All right, thank you so much. The reason why I'm laughing, when I was explaining some of these successes, it was just smooth like that. Yes. Ella, to run a humanitarian foundation in this country, that is a developing country, is crazy. I'll tell you what my friend, bosom friend, told me. We went to college together, like my roommate. We graduated together and all. He told me when I shared the vision with him, and he asked me three questions. James, do you have a house? Have you built a house? I said no. James, do you have a car? I said no. Uh, James, are you married? I said no. He said, what? And you want to go into? He said, my brother, focus on yourself first. He told me that. He said, you need to be rich before you can go into humanitarian. He said, as for me, I'm going to concentrate on myself before I could do anything. I ran away from him. That's the time I knew that there are some people you share your vision with, they can kill it.
Yes.
Since that time, well, he used to see the pictures of what we are doing, and he will be like, oh, this man, okay, keep on trying. I'm telling you, Ella, it is so challenging that people would even think that this man, he is now rich. Instead of him to go and help his family or to help himself, he wants to go into, charity, people that he does not even believe. Somebody else told me, he said, if you are not concentrating on other people's children, when will you concentrate on your own? So it is so challenging that government, even government officials, they do not buy from it. They see you as, this guy is either not serious, or he has one well that is producing money for him.
Wow.
And Ella, let me tell you, I used to tell my team, I said, these children you are seeing, they don't have the connections to go to the city to beg. Now, what we are doing is practically to beg for them, and we take the resource to them because they cannot come to the city. As we are talking now, Ella, none of my children cannot talk to you. They don't even have the link, but I have. So I used to tell them, so this is what we need to concentrate on. Now, we are practically beggars, but our begging is for humanity. Imagine you would have to go to these shops that sell junks. You tell them, please, oh, I want junks, but this is the amount I can offer. I'm doing it for children. And they'll be like, no, you have to pay this amount or not. You will have to beg just so that you get it. So it is very, very challenging, my dear, more especially when it comes to finance. People you think will support you will run away from you. People you think will buy from your vision, in fact, they will now say, no, this guy, everything is okay with him. I had an uncle who used to tell me, the time you are in the university, I give you lunch. Now I don't give you lunch. I don't give you shishi. In fact, you are a money man now. So you see, so it's like that. Most people around you, when once you tell them you want to go into humanitarian work, be it for children, be it for women, be it for anything, they will despise you because they don't want to be asked for anything. So it's really challenging. That is why local humanitarian organizations here, it's very difficult for them to thrive. Because our people now believe in donor funds, when it's not donor, even with volunteers, your team, there are times they would nearly want to leave you. Let me tell you, Ella, that is why I could not name the foundation after my name. Because I actually wanted everybody to know that this is not about me. It's not about my family, but it's about humanity. So today I can go, I can decide to leave the foundation and give it to you. You can still run it. Otherwise, I should have said Hilton Yambasu Foundation. But I said no. And everybody was at my back. Why do you have to do that? All other foundations you are seeing are registered in the names of the people. I said, yes, those people, they have achieved, they have enough money to support the foundation. Me, I don't have. So if I put my name there now, everybody will say this thing is about you. So I used to tell my team. So to move, even Ella, to move from one community to another, more when it's a rural community, my God, it's another huge challenge. I'll share a testimony with you. Last December, we decided to do a child fair. You know, December is more for gifts and all of that.
Yes.
So we went to 3 large communities in the areas we are operating. What we did, we played theme for them. They watch. That is like we will stay with them for the whole of the day. Not only our children, but as long as you're a child.
Children in the community.
Yes. I have those pictures I will share with you as well. Okay. We cook food for them.
Wow.
We all eat together.
Wow.
After that, we played a movie for them. We also give them gifts. Now, let me tell you, we budgeted for 250 people, children. The number bloated that my head was like, what are we going to do? Yes, but thank God, God supported us. We went through it. Every one of them were fed. You know, you can see the liveliness in them. The children feeling so belong. In fact, sometimes they feel James and the children. That's how they call me. Because anywhere I go, any community I go, whether we are operating there or not, whether I go there on my personal business, there's one thing I've always learned now. Before going, in my bag, I'll buy sweets. I'll buy something, just little things. So when I go, if school is in session, I'll just go to the teacher. I say, please, I want to just share some gifts with my children, and they will allow me. So that one is now part of me. So that is, you know, in those 3 communities, for us to move from one community to another. And by then we had this fuel crisis. You know, the fuel crisis, it got to a point it was all over. My team nearly gave up. In fact, some of them, I had to tell them, okay, you know what, you go back to the city, let us go. We will go and do the same thing and we'll give back report. Because there was no money anymore, you know, and we ran out of, you know, and we don't have mobility, so we have to take transport. It was crazy. But we thank God, because I was like, okay, so if we would have aborted this mission, look at the amount of people, the amount of children we impacted here. We are going to lose that. So thank God that we did that trip. So it's very, very much crazy, my dear, to run a humanitarian foundation or a humanitarian organization in Sierra Leone. It's like you are not okay. Imagine a young man, you are running, instead of something paying you, you are pouring everything. You are pouring everything into it, you know, to even concentrate on yourself now, because we have goals. Like for this year now, we have our goals. That's what I'm going for, not minding any other thing. You see, even yesterday, I was telling my team in the group, I said, please, let us meet to discuss. We need to crack brains. We have tasked ourselves, say, okay, every month, this is what we will give. We'll send it to the account, because we have a functional account that has 3 signatories. Interestingly, I can't take a dime from that account without the approval of the board, a member of the board to sign, you know, so just for us to ensure financial prudence. So it's so challenging. Even other organizations that you may think would need to come in to help you may frown at you, because they will feel like they are not gaining anything. They will not be having anything in return. So you write them for partnership, you write them for help. Ella, trust me, they can't. They would have to, in fact, take you through some process that you would run away. So it's so crazy. That's why it's very difficult. You only see international organizations here that are, surviving because they are surviving on donors and all of that. But it's crazy.
That is really sad to see that our own people have a limited mindset for helping
exactly
around. That's really sad. At least the world knows now what it means to run an organization in Sierra Leone, and definitely people will be able to support your organization and the great work that you do. So tell me,
Amen.
What is the day you will never forget in the course of running your organization?
Well, was the day they finally gave certificates to Geneva, the young girl. And the mom told me, because this girl, I'll send you the picture just when we're done. Yeah. This girl could not walk because of the sickness she was going through. So when she was finally treated, the mother now told me, in fact, she said, your sister is now healed and she has already started to take her steps. Say, so you have to get her slippers to wear. That day, in fact, that day spurred me to really go more. And I bought for Geneva the first slippers she wore. I'm like, wow, God is good. That day I can never forget. I'm like, okay, so it was really God that directed me to this village and directed me to this girl. What if Geneva should have died? That was going to be a loss. So now even the mother is happy to relate with the child, she's so happy, and she calls her my sister. She says the girl is my sister. So that day, my dear, I could never forget. And as well, when we finally launched the foundation, it's actually dawned on me that yes, we are now ready. We have now finally gone into something that will not end again. This one now is forever and ever. No going back. That day, I will not forget. I nearly shed tears, that very day.
Wonderful, wonderful. Everyone has that day they will not forget in their organizations, and that's what keeps us going. Remembering the experiences that we have and the feeling that we had from having to impact lives. That's really great. So two more questions before I finally let you go. Where do you see your nonprofit in the next 5 years? Where do you see your organization? What are your hopes, your dreams and aspirations for your organization in the next 5 years?
Wow, thank you. This is a very, very, very huge question, but I'll try to do my best.
Sure.
Now, every vision has a target, and the visionaire has a goal, has something he or she wants to achieve.
True.
Now, basically, I want to see us first as volunteers better trained into humanitarian work, because if we are not trained, trust me, we would do so many things wrong.
Sure.
And number two, I would want to see where every child in each of these communities we operate relate with Happy Child Foundation. How do I mean? Would say, okay, I benefited this. This foundation got me this. If I'm educated today, this foundation made the inroads for me. Yes, I want to see a foundation where our presence will be all over Africa, because we have children all over Africa that are vulnerable, children all over, that are really suffering. So I want to see where the foundation can partner with more other like-minded foundation for us to create the impact that we need, because this is what I have chosen now. It's like I'm moving away from my career, which is communication, to humanitarian work. I have chosen it and I love doing it, and I will not stop doing it. I hope I answered that question very well.
Sure. Nice aspirations. And I love that you are thinking futuristic. You're thinking about the future and ensuring all your goals are met. So now that you have shared with us your story, your goals, and everything, is there any particular project or program that you would want the help of the general public? So people listening to us right now, it is time for you to make your call for support, for donations. Let people know how they can support you.
All right, thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you so much. Basically, we outlined 3 projects we want to embark on for this year.
Okay.
Yes, because every year we have our programs we want to embark on. Now, what has come out clearly is that most of these children are from single parents. And that is, they are not only single, but they are teenagers. Like I said, a lot of these girls are impregnated whilst in school. They drop out of school, and the husband or the father for these children will run away from them. So they will stay alone to suffer with these children. So basically, that one has come out so clear. Now, we have taken the burden of the child to help the child go to school. You know, when the child is ill, we come in. You understand? But how about the mother? The mother, we have noticed that still there is no complete livelihood in that home. Yes. As I speak to you, we have up to 15 of these teenage mothers that were dropped out of school because of the pregnancies of their children and are not doing anything. And they become more vulnerable. As long as they are not going to school, they're not doing anything, men will still come again, you know. So we have developed a project which we call Mentor Micro Women. Now, what is the aim of this project? This project is to see where we can identify these mothers, these single mothers, whose children are under our support, but still need support, to give them some livelihood, like give them a startup, like give them meager amounts, small money with no interest. Because we don't want burden on them. You know, we give them we give them like $50, like $60 to start up a business. Now, we do not just want to give them the money, but we want to train them
on how to
Yes, already we have a woman-led organization that is ready to partner with us to give the training to these women. Because since they cannot go to school again and they are still in the community, we want to see how best they can. You know, women are good with business. So we give them some small amounts, say, okay, we train them to go and start up a business. And then after some time, like 6 months or 1 year, you give back the money we gave you so we can give to more other women. Now, what will this do? This will help. In fact, this will now help us. Because if the mother now is economically empowered, there are some areas now that she can come in for the child.
By herself.
Yes.
Wonderful.
There are some areas she can handle by herself. So that is what we want to do. Well, we want to first of all start with 15 or 20 of them that we can give them small. It's not big money because we don't want to give you big money and you cannot handle it. But we give them small amount that you can start. Like my mom is a petty trader. She does this small business. That's why, in fact, that's where she gets some of the funds to support the children, to make sure food is there always at the house and all of that. So that is what we want to embark on by the grace of God. And also, There's a community where we went to, there's no school. I would also send you the picture where the children sit in boats to cross water to go to the next community. Imagine the risk involved in that. Now, when it is in the rains, nearly there will be no school for them because that's the time the water level will rise, you know.
Yeah.
There is so much risk. When I saw them, I felt so bad. And the children will have to canoe themselves. Yes, I have a picture of that. I'm like, this is risky. So we are actually trusting God, even if it's not 100% standard structure, but we want to at least get a small structure for that particular community so that, you know, we will say, okay, we will provide the structure. The community now will do what they can to at least have a community teacher to be teaching these children. That is another project, a 3-classroom building that we want to erect in one of these communities by the grace of God before September, because schools reopen in September. And finally, of course, we have girls. Most of our children are girls, and some of them are up to puberty now. So this year, we want to celebrate the World Menstrual Day by, you know, we have, like I told you, we have already a woman organization that is ready to partner with us to at least give some of this training. We train the girls how to, you know, proper menstrual hygiene, and also to donate pads to these girls. Yes. This one is coming up soon by the grace of God. So these three are the key stuff that are really part of our agenda. Every day, even when I'm praying, I pray, I say, God, this is it too. You know, every time we are talking about it and all. So we would actually be so grateful if we have any, you know, support for either of these areas. Honestly, Ella.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, so everyone, over to you. You have heard it from James. They need support for the school, for the children in the community. They need support for their projects for menstrual hygiene and also economic empowerment for the girls. So, as usual, I would say share this video with your network, because someone within your network might be willing to support. And also, the contact details, donation details are on your screen, in the description box, and also on our blog, to get in contact with James or to donate to the organization and see how you can come in. If you can visit Sierra Leone, please visit Sierra Leone and see the work that James is doing and see how you can support.
That would be wonderful.
That would be wonderful. I myself would see how I can make it.
Exactly. Ella, I just wanted to say that I'm looking forward to having you.
I'm definitely going to see how I would work that trip out and come to Sierra Leone.
Where you'll be working in some of these communities with no shoes on.
Wonderful. All right, James, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It was an amazing story, and I'm glad that I had you here to share with us. Everyone, please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. All right, everyone, see you in the next episode.
Thank you so much, Ella.